Welcome to Self-Built, a channel for those who feel the cracks in the world and within themselves and are ready to rebuild from the inside out. You're not here by accident. If you've ever felt that something essential is breaking down, in your life, in society, in the systems around you, then you already know what this is about. You've felt the discomfort, the disillusionment, maybe even despair. But you're still here. And that means you haven't given up. You're seeking something deeper, something real, something that can hold the complexity of this moment and offer a path forward. This is that path. Self-Built isn't about easy answers or quick hacks. It's about remembering who you are beneath the noise, and designing a life, and a world, from that place. This video will show you how. Let's begin where we all begin, with the human experience. Human experience and suffering. To live is to suffer, but what if we could understand why? What if the pain we carry isn't random, but rooted in core patterns that have always shaped the human journey? We begin with the roots of suffering: impermanence, separation, and emptiness. These aren't flaws in the human design, they are the very conditions of existence. You fear impermanence because you love. You fear separation because you long to belong. You fear emptiness because you seek meaning. Philosophers from the Buddha to Heidegger explored these themes. They understood that suffering isn't something to escape, but to understand. In Self-Built, we guide you through each of these fears, not to erase them, but to transform your relationship with them. Then there's the architecture of self. Who are you, really? Are you the stories you were told? The roles you perform? The mask you wear to survive? From Jung's idea of the persona and the shadow, to Foucault's analysis of how institutions shape identity, we uncover the internal architecture that builds, and binds, your sense of self. In this space, we don't offer labels or diagnoses. We offer mirrors. The cost of connection reminds us that love, intimacy, and vulnerability are as dangerous as they are beautiful. Why? Because they threaten the false self. They ask you to be seen, to be touched, to risk. Love is not safe, but it is sacred. And it is through love that most of us first meet our wounds. We explore how attachment, abandonment, and longing shape the very structure of your emotional life. The human predicament is this: we are intelligent enough to ask big questions, but mortal enough to fear the answers. We are torn between our ideals and our instincts, our longing for transcendence and our limits in flesh. The existentialists, Camus, Sartre, Kierkegaard, all saw this tension. But they also saw its potential. To be human is to stand at the edge of absurdity and still choose to create, love, and mean. And finally, who are you really? This is not a rhetorical question. It's the invitation at the heart of this channel. If everything you were taught turned out to be wrong, what remains? What would you build your life on? This is not about reinvention. It's about remembering. Change, collapse, and transition. We live in a time of endings and beginnings. The old stories are breaking. The new ones have yet to be born. You are living in the space between. What do you do with that? The Trinity of Change explores three forces that could save, or destroy, everything: technology, power systems, and consciousness. Each of them alone is transformative. Together, they could redesign reality. We unpack how AI is reshaping identity and labor, how power is consolidated through invisible infrastructures, and how awakening, not as a trend, but as an evolutionary imperative, could shift the trajectory of history. These aren't just ideas. They're forces you're already living inside. The collapse of meaning is happening all around you. Language has become marketing. Institutions have lost legitimacy. Spirituality is commodified. Education is outdated. Politics is performance. In a post-truth world, the danger isn't just misinformation, it's meaninglessness. We explore how to make sense when sense-making itself is broken. In the post-truth world, facts are no longer enough. Narratives compete. Reality becomes a battleground. From the rise of conspiracy cultures to the failure of traditional media, we help you see the deeper structure of belief, manipulation, and perception. Life between worlds is the liminal space you're in right now. One world is dying. The next is not yet born. You feel it in the instability, in the sense of waiting, in the quiet anxiety that hums beneath modern life. This is the mythic in-between, the time between stories. Joseph Campbell, Thomas Berry, and Charles Eisenstein have all written about this space. But few offer tools for how to live inside it. We do. Existential risk isn't just about climate change or AI. It's about the collective inability to act wisely in a system that rewards short-term thinking. We show you why the next 50 years matter more than any other, and how your personal clarity impacts the collective fate. The myth of progress is unraveling. Growth for the sake of growth is no longer a virtue. It's a cancer. We deconstruct the ideology of endless expansion and offer alternative visions rooted in sustainability, sanity, and soul. Healing and regeneration. Healing is not a side quest. It is the path. The inner revolution is the radical act of facing yourself, not just your wounds, but your power. We explore trauma, shadow, repression, and how healing begins where avoidance ends. This isn't about therapy speak. It's about truth. Rilke said, "Perhaps everything terrible is in its deepest being something that wants our love." From fragment to whole means returning the exiled parts of yourself. It means reclaiming the child, the rebel, the dreamer, the wild one, the wounded one. Integration is not perfection. It's coherence. And it's how we stop leaking energy into false selves. The return of the sacred is happening everywhere. In art, in ritual, in silence, in the hunger for something more than content. You don't need to believe in God to feel awe. You just need to look closely. We explore how myth, depth, and reverence can restore what secular life has stripped away. Inner infrastructure is the architecture you need to withstand collapse. Resilience, emotional regulation, nervous system intelligence, boundaries, and capacity. Without these, your insights won't last. With them, your life becomes a stable ground for truth. Sense-making in chaos is the superpower of our time. When reality splinters, your ability to perceive clearly, without illusion, without panic, becomes sacred. We explore cognitive tools, systems thinking, and embodied awareness that help you see what's real when nothing else makes sense. Systems, tech, and tools. Once you see yourself clearly, you begin to see the world clearly. Power, systems, and sovereignty is about who holds the levers. And why. It's about how systems shape your behavior, from capitalism to patriarchy to algorithms. And how you can reclaim agency without falling into delusion. Foucault. Bourdieu. Audre Lorde. These thinkers help us map the terrain. But we take it further, into practice. Sacred Tech asks, can technology serve the soul? Or is it always hijacked by profit and power? We explore how tools like AI, blockchain, and even social platforms can be redesigned, not just ethically, but spiritually. Designing for collapse is a skill set now. Not a theory. We show you how to build lives, systems, and communities that can bend without breaking. That can hold meaning when the grid goes down. Think permaculture. Think mutual aid. Think inner and outer design. Deep adaptation isn't about giving up. It's about grieving what's lost, and finding what still matters. It's about courage. And clarity. And commitment to life, even when it's uncertain. Culture hackers are the artists, mystics, activists, and creators rewriting the code of reality. From street art to memes to myth making, we explore how culture can be reprogrammed, not through power, but through story. New ways of living. If the old world is dying, what will you build? Becoming self-built is about personal sovereignty. It's the choice to live from the inside out. To create a life rooted in integrity, not performance. To remember what matters and design from there. You are not a product. You are a creator. Self-built worlds are already emerging, intentional communities, regenerative villages, networked collectives. But they begin with individuals. With you. We explore what it takes to build lives and systems that work. Game B is a civilizational thought experiment. A world beyond capitalism and collapse. It's not utopia. It's an evolutionary upgrade. We map out what's possible and how to get there. Ecology of Mind is about healing the false split between nature and psyche. Your thoughts are not separate from the planet. Your inner ecology matters. We explore practices and insights that reconnect you to the living world. Intelligence Beyond the Human explores non-human knowing, animals, plants, networks, machines. What if wisdom isn't only rational? What if consciousness is relational? The end of separation is not a metaphor. It's a necessity. We cannot survive fragmented, from self, from each other, from Earth. We explore reconnection at every level. Self-built civilization is the Longview dream. What would it look like to build society from scratch, with everything we've learned? Not from dominance, but from design. Not from ideology, but from integration. This is self-built. This is your invitation. Subscribe to begin, not the journey to escape the world, but to build one worth living in.